Ryan. Do you see what they did there?
Reserve time.
They didn't ban out the Chen in the first phase, and look what happened. My gosh. Oh, we saw that just destroy teams last week. They won't have the Beastmaster to pair it with it this time, but still. It's just unreal the kind of damage he did, and they pick it right away. They get the Invoker as well, so. 2 heroes they were able to touch last time, they're able to get this time around, so. Definitely looking to avenge that loss.
Radiant's ban.
Sorry, I had Cursed muted for reasons,
Oh, well, that's good.
as opposed to just muting myself.
Glad to have you on board, bro. Quality production.
Yeah,
Quality
maybe not my best moment there.
Radiant's ban.
But we get to see a Chen. I'm super excited. I haven't seen a Chen in forever.
Yeah, the captain's Chen is absolutely terrifying. So we saw that last week, and we saw that worked out for them. So surprised they let it go. They decided that the gyro is more of an issue, and they ended up banning that. That might come back to bite them in the butt, I think, honestly. if they know enough
I'm really
to,
surprised that they.
if they know enough to ban it in the first phase, I don't know, man. Hopefully they're planning around it. And I think the Earthshaker's a great part of that.
Yeah, that Echo Slam's going to get a lot of bonus damage off the Chen
10
creeps.
seconds to go.
I'm actually really surprised that the Chen wasn't banned by Ghostz, because they just took a game late game and won convincingly in the late game.
Right?
So
Why
I would
risk it?
imagine that they'd want to take away early game.
Well,
And Chen, to me, feels like a stronger early game character than a late game character.
well, no Spectre or Ember Spirit for this game. I'm okay with that. See a couple more heroes. Also, knowing that the gyro's out, it makes me like exponentially more happy because I'm so
10
sick and tired
seconds
of
to
seeing
go.
that hero being spammed all over.
Yeah, he's been popular for quite some time. Juggernaut. Alright, so this has been a very, very meta draft. We have the Invoker, we have the Juggernaut, we have Earthshaker and Bane. Those have all been really popular characters all through AD2L. The Chen a little bit outside the box. 4 of the 6 picks, very standard.
Well, hey, we got a pretty good treat last game, so let's not start complaining.
I was,
Come on.
that was cool.
You got to see the
That
third,
was cool.
one of the few times you'll ever see a scepter on a lone
5
druid. Come on.
seconds.
I'm okay with that. Consider that a win.
Yeah, that last game. I mean, a lot of the games that we've cast have sort of ended around the 35-minute mark, the 30-minute mark. So it was actually really refreshing to see a game go late game where characters were starting to round out their entire builds, where we got to see a whole arc of the game. We got to see a little bit of late game, big team fights, and that was really, really cool to watch.
Yeah, I think the only other game that actually went late was with Ghostz versus Wards and Base the first week, actually. That was the huge comeback that Wards and Base had against them. It was a little over an hour game.
That was also a really clutch game.
That was an insane game. Oh, the old Slithering Crusher.
Dyer's pick.
I still cannot wait for him to get a cosmetic shift. It's just, he looks so ugly. He's such a good hero, but he's just so damn ugly. Like, why? Ugh. Can't you, like, pay off Blizzard just to get the old hero model? Like, come on. You get Lord Gaben, you have enough money now. Come on. You can fork over some cash to get the old Nago. Come on. So,
10
they have a
seconds to
ton of crowd control here from Moribund, so
5 seconds.
this is definitely gonna be early game.
Moribund.
Definitely gonna be early game. Queen of Pain also gonna.
This is going to be fast and furious team fighting. This is not going to be a game where we go several minutes and go, well, it's probably going to be a passive game.
So you're saying I have to be quick on the
This
camera?
will be
actually have to
aggressive.
be good? Is that what you're telling me? I have to try to capture
This
all
is
the
going to be
kills
blood.
on screen?
It's not going to be possible.
10 seconds to
It's
go.
not possible.
No. Well, I'm glad you've undersold me to the
5
Twitch stream.
seconds.
Set the bar low, so then when I'm a complete screw up, it doesn't look so bad. I appreciate it.
Oh
Looking
man,
out.
I think it's going to be fast and furious. Like, they're just going to be kills everywhere. We're going to see Queen of Pain goes one direction, Invoker goes the other direction, and we're going to see 6 kills go down on opposite halves of the map. It's going to be rough.
God, who gave you an Adderall before the cast tonight? Jesus. Okay, so,
Dyer's ban.
Queen of Pain, I'm assuming mid, Chug safe. We're waiting for an offlaner for Ghostz, I'm imagining, unless you want to do the semi-uncharacteristic Earthshaker offlane, which I don't think they want to do because they want to be able to beat up this Invoker early with Earthshaker rotation. I mean, both of those two heroes, eventually, there's
10 seconds
Earthshaker,
to
very
go.
good at rotating early and putting pressure on the mid. Although, keep in mind,
5
though, the
seconds.
Invoker change, it's really been huge for him so far. So, being able to have those
Radiant's
spells at the
pit.
ready right away is definitely something
Yeah,
that's helped
being
him
able to
out.
have what I'm guessing will be a Quaspex Invoker, being able to have Tornado at level 2 as opposed to level 3
Yeah.
could mean a world of difference for him.
Yeah. I mean, most of the time when you see, I mean, you assume it's going to be a safe lane tri-lane with the ES, Vengeful Spirit, and Jug, so, oh, Morph.
Oh, more flag.
Dyer's
See,
pit.
that's the kind of thing we've seen from both these teams, too. They'll have, like, an early games centric team, for the most part, especially Moribund, but they always have that small part of their game plan ready for the late game. So the Slardar, who can easily convert into a later game carry, Morphling, who becomes exponentially stronger as the game goes on. So, you know, they're able to take fights early, but at the same time they have a, you know, a contingency
10
plan if
seconds
things
to go.
don't go exactly how they expect. So
5
Now, is
seconds.
Yeah, I mean, all of these characters are going to be... Oh, hello.
mm,
Queen of Pain offlane. Templar Assassin mid.
yeah, that I probably should have seen that coming. Actually, the TAs, yeah, I think you have to go for that. That's their play.
Yeah, with the way Invokers have been building, TA is very strong against him, and Ember Spirit has also been very strong against him.
Agreed. Slardar rushing up top, gets haste first just so he can get that early ward off.
Let's keep it clean, folks.
It makes sense, he's not really going to be using Crush early game.
I like how as
so
soon as somebody
being able to-
used a swear in all chat, my announcer says, "Let's keep it clean, folks." Too good, too good. Wow, look at that Invoker
Well, they do.
set. Look
They
at
do
that.
have
That is badass. That is badass. Curtis is 3-0 with Chen. 8 average KDA. That's disgusting. That is absolutely
Yeah, they're actually
disgusting.
4-0 with the gyro as well. So the gyro ban
Yeah.
makes a little more sense when you look at it from that angle.
You can't
But
ban everybody, I
the
guess.
Chen
huh?
definitely more of a niche ban. Yeah.
Can't ban every hero. Someone's eventually gonna fall through. So Boots
And
first
we're
on the
back.
Slardars to make sure he's safe. So he's not gonna have the Stout Shield to help mitigate those right clicks early on, but assuming he's gonna have to sack that rune. That's gone, boss. You're not getting that one. So I have not seen
Here we
Invoker
go.
versus TA since the Invoker changed. So how do you think this changes the dynamic of that lane?
Well, it depends on which invoker
Got
you're
a
running. It
feeling this is
doesn't
gonna be
change
good.
the matchup that much. If you're running Quas Wex, it's going to be a rough lane for invoker. If you're running Quas Exort, there comes a point in time where Forge Spirits will be effective at breaking through TA's refraction. So there's definitely a turning point depending on the build you run. But if it's Quas Wex, you don't have to kill the TA. You're just going to leave and kill all the other lanes.
Uh-oh. Got some early trades here. That is not
Oh.
gonna favor you, young lady.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage, and she does. Oh, she has 8 tankers. Okay, and a fairy fire, and wards. That's a do it all, jack of all trades kind of quap. Who's still taking so much damage. She gets the D ward off. She's gonna need those tangos at this rate.
Well, might as well not buy him if you aren't going to use him. So getting her his money's worth there.
A worthwhile investment, some would say. And Earthshaker already posturing mid, as we mentioned, but a little easier to do come nighttime. Maybe with a little help of a rune too, so not gonna be as easy as he'd like, and he's he's gonna have to sit there for a while before that lane pushes something too. Might be a bit there, home slice.
So I haven't actually checked their Chen itemization. Do you know what types of items this Chen might anticipate going? Like, is he going to go after a fast Midas, which is kind of weird for a Chen, but has been done? Or is he just going to go for the more standard mech rush?
Last game was very standard. He went full Greaves, Scepter, and then went utility after that as well. I can't recall the later game items, but I mean the game ended at like 30-some minutes, so there really wasn't much after that.
Haste.
Force Staff is actually super popular on really high level Chen players because they
Might have had a
use it to
blink,
force staff
actually,
that creeps in almost like a blink dagger. It's really nasty.
Might have had a blink dagger, Brian. I'm not sure, but I want to say there might have been a blink. I'm not sure. But okay, so this is the same thing he did last time too. He gets all of his creeps. He gets the early smoke of deceit too, in the event that he needs to make a rotation if a lane's having some issues. So he didn't actually take advantage of it before the last game we casted. So we'll see what he ends
Well,
up
he
doing
might
with
this
it.
game with the Earthshaker and Vengeful Spirit as the support duo. They
Yeah,
have a
it's
lot
very
of damage,
likely.
a lot of CC.
And he's got boots already too, so he can move around pretty quickly already. So I mean, they're evenly trading completely in the mid lane. That's good. Fifth Morphlane pick. It's 1 and 3 so far in the AD2L. Now, Andy, is that heroic or is that entry and heroic? Just out of curiosity. This co-op is just taking
I would
so
imagine
much damage.
both. They're
So much damage.
Morphlete's not a very common pick in the current metagame.
Very true. Uh-oh. Chen creep sacrifices. Gotcha.
All stats are parsed for both. Makes sense.
Yeah. Very good. Slaughter actually not doing too bad here.
Oh,
my
Queen
gosh,
might go
this
down
co-op.
here.
She has the fairy fire at last
Oh, she is
second, but
The razor's edge here, man.
Yeah.
The razor's edge.
balls of steel. And but at the same time, like, what are you really getting at? That you're not contesting Morphling's farm at all. Like, he's not taking
No,
any damage.
you're not
just,
even really contesting Bane.
You're
You're
just
not
trying to-
making him lose EXP.
Yeah, which he still has the same amount as the Queen of Pain. To keep that into perspective, they literally have almost the exact same XP. Not the trade you really want.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Slarders actually found more levels than the Queen of Pain, which is kind of weird to say.
Yeah, that's one thing I was comparing too, is that just want to see who's doing getting more of the off lane here, and he goes for the starter actually goes for the early Iron Talon, which I find for the heroes that have a little bit more trouble, the cores that have more trouble farming early, it's really beneficial, especially now with that added creep camp there, where he can just swing over by his ancients and take out a camp really quick. He's actually kind of in a predicament here. He gets a great crush on it too. The
crush.
stun gets off first. He's got haste stun, so he's taking a little extra damage, but he's gonna get out just fine. And the tornadoes. This is something I don't think we saw the last time. The Chen tornado creep spam. That's like Oklahoma. There's tornadoes everywhere. You got the Chen creep. You got the Crossbox Invoker. Jesus.
This isn't Kansas anymore, Dorothy.
Right? Uh-oh. That's a huge
Ooh,
fish.
good
He's gonna
fissure.
get out. He's gonna get out. They're just really pressuring this lane, and Earthshaker is actually able to find a level and a half from just sitting there and camping mid, but detracting a little bit from the TA, who's actually fallen behind the Invoker in terms of CS here. Both carries doing very well in the CS boards, as one can might imagine.
Wow, that's a stat. 2 out of 137. Holy crap. I would have anticipated it being a higher number than that. I mean, I know she's been being played safe lane a lot at high levels of professional play as well, but I would figure that more than 2 out of those games would have seen her
Yeah, that's
forced to rotate into the offlane.
That's crazy.
Soldier's fortune.
So Slaughter's actually been using his mana. He's gonna commit another crush. He's getting the CS with the Iron Talon as well. So he realizes this lane is no longer
Makes
safe.
sense.
Yeah, it's Omni Slash.
Speaking
on
of getting the
Juggernaut.
CS, Juggernaut has 40.
Yeah. Slaughter realized that it's not
He
safe
is
in that lane at all.
crushing the CS.
Between the stun, the Blade Fury, and the Omni Slash, he knows he's not gonna make it out alive. So he's committing to the creep camp. And he's just gonna abandon the lane. He's gonna go back to well, and he might not go back. They might have to see some rotations here.
Well, in terms of supports being available, I mean, the Bane's been doing complete work on the Queen of Pain, so he doesn't really want to leave, but if he has to leave to secure the starter, a Blink Dagger, and a level 6, he theoretically could, because the Morphling will be very safe against this Queen of Pain.
How paramount is getting the Blink Dagger, though, on the starter? I mean, I feel like it's obviously you have to get it at some point, but is it really that necessary to maybe, you know, hurt one lane just to make sure he gets it a little bit quicker?
I'm going to say no. He already has 3
so.
points in the sprint,
I don't think
and
it's that.
so if Invoker hits a Tornado, he can just sprint in under that Tornado stun and get the crush off of that setup.
Yeah, and he's got Tranquils
again, this
too,
is a
so
cross-Wex Invoker, so he's not going to be doing as much damage, but he's going to be setting up team fights and bringing more CC than the Exort style would. So.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of nice thing they have about the team too. They have a lot of setup. I mean, you've got the Bane, you have Chen, the Invoker, and there we go. Queen of Pain finally bit off more than she can chew here. Morphling gets the first kill.
No breaking down the radiant structure.
See, and you said it was going to be bloodbath everywhere. Almost 8 minutes in for our first kill. Come on.
Radiant's top tower.
Yeah, I was wrong. I
Chen
thought
is
that
not
the,
happy right now. He's in a very bad place.
Oh no, man.
He's got no ultimate. He's going to try to... He's microing the creeps very well, ttrying to block him off, but there's no way. TA is just too much damage just early in the game. Scouting
Has to be
Tornado
careful.
really...
He does not want to feed the
The
creeps.
creeps are still there though, and they want to try to maybe go in on this. Unfortunately, the EMP is not going to make contact with anyone.
Dire's mid tower won't last much longer.
What are you doing, Earthshaker? You have no mana.
Yeah. Oh, he's pretty close.
Earthshaker, what are you doing?
He has enough now for the Fisher. But yeah, now the team's all spread apart now. You gotta be careful. Oh, there we go. Finally get the Slardar ult on the TA. But he's gonna go down. He pops haste, but he's just taking so much damage. And if do they have detection here?
Ghost Walk was a very narrow thing. Almost didn't have enough mana.
Yikes, that was just really disorganized here from both sides. But Ghost definitely making getting the better of the trade, and they actually take the T1 top too, so pretty pressuring the T2.
They take the tower, they get a kill with the Juggernaut, and they pick up all of the Chen creeps. That is a massive exchange in favor of Ghosts at this point in the game.
And Morphling did get the first blood, but he's still almost 900 gold away from the Juggernaut, who's just been absolutely running rampant here. And he actually got a kill on the Slardar that last engagement, so. Got a huge stack here for the TA. Wow.
Yeah, that'll definitely help accelerate her to whatever item she's going, be it a Blink Dagger, a Desolator, or, you know, something else.
I think she's fine with just the Deso. Although they are lacking a little bit of initiation, but at this point I don't know if their team's really ready for her to go that deep for her to be able to initiate like that, so we'll see.
It depends on how she feels about dealing with the tornadoes, if she thinks she can get out of the way with just mobility, or if she needs a blink to be dodging those kind of invoker spells.
Alright, so what kind of Morphling is this? Is this going to be a shotgun that we're quite accustomed to seeing, or is he going to go something a little more DPS-like?
It's hard to say. The shotgun build works better with the team that they've drafted, just because they have a lot of setup opportunities and not as much damage to finish it off, so having that burst out of Morphling makes a lot of sense. But that build also comes online a lot later than the Linken's first build, so it'll be interesting to see how they juggle that, and I actually don't know which way they'll go, just because of the pressures that'll be put on the Morphling in the mid-game to combine with the team to participate in team fights. Whether it'll be Linken's first, or it'll be the Ghost Scepter into F-Blade first. Or if we see like a Linken's into F-Blade.
Juggernaut's going all the way, and he's still got his ultimate here. There's no Creme Cheese creeps, unfortunately, to tank in. They pop the Chen ult, and he's going down. Good rotation. Bane was
that
there
was a mistake.
I was a little worried, but I forgot. I mean, the level 1 Juggernaut ult is just so underwhelming. Ugh.
Yeah, and he was at such a lead. He did not need to risk that.
No.
80 CS by 11 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's already got a kill on the board as well, so that was maybe a little bit over-aggressive there, a little too confident.
A little overzealous, I would definitely agree with that. And, yep, so the Arcane Booster picked up on the Chen, and he's going to go right for the mech, and really in an awkward place here. They pop the Queen of Pain ultimate just to make sure he goes down quickly. You're going to take all of his creeps, too. Oh, that's depressing. EMP's really going to screw everyone up here, though. They're all without mana, and the Invoker's just going to go in. He wants the kill. He's not going to be able to get it. He's actually going to go down.
Yep.
The TA is just...
They do get Vengeful Spirit in return.
And they get her on the back end.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
And Quap knows better. So now this is where the Blink Dagger will be very handy.
The Dire best do something about that bottom tower.
Yeah, no kidding.
2 for 2. Chen
I
goes
mean,
down right away.
the Chen has been losing a lot of creeps, and as someone who's played Chen a little bit,
Radiant's
that's
mid
really
tower
concerning.
getting
The fact that you have to spend time building up from
Oh,
zero
yeah.
after every death, and just the sheer amount of money and EXP that you're feeding to the other team off of those jungle creeps.
Radiant's
Definitely.
It's good that he's being active, it's good he's trying to make an impact, but you gotta be worried about how much he's giving the enemy team versus how much they seem to be getting out of him.
Yeah, that's one thing that's really, it just leaves you kind of dejected. Not only was he killed, but he lost every creep too. You know, so it's, like you said, he's got to spend the time, build up that army. And that's time that, you know, he can't do anything else, so.
Huh.
No kidding.
That is a cool stat. No Invoker has gone without Exort by level 7 until now.
I think Andy's
And
going to
they've
fit
all
in
been
just fine
opting
with
to
this
get there.
stream. I think Andy will fit in just fine. He's doing a great
Yeah,
job. Andy
definitely.
just stands everybody.
The Exort, the early Exort is of course for getting Deafening Blast, as opposed to any of the other abilities. So you get that one additional CC. But he's going after a more pure Wex
Uh-oh.
boss build.
Got a
He'll
grip
pick
here.
up the Exort as soon as he.
He's got grip available. I got to break her down quick. Perfect.
She's going down.
Yeah, he timed that perfectly. Saved the waveform for the very last
I'm
second.
saving the. Yeah, so he can secure the last hit.
Yeah, that's very certain. I mean, that hero's just so good like that. I mean, you have no problem committing that ultimate. The cooldown's not that long. Yeah, it'll be up again in a minute and 10, so it's not terrible. But yeah, just making sure you have that lockdown that she can't get out.
Yeah. And he basically secures a kill every time his ultimate's up. If you have a team that can play around with it, Vayne is a support that has not gotten enough love in previous patches, but is starting to see a lot more play
He's
in
definitely
this
in
one.
love
So
in the
I'm really
in
excited
our
to see more Vayne play.
in the heroic league, man. He's definitely first or second phase pick or ban for most teams. It's just it's not that he's versatile. It's just having if your draft doesn't really have the CC, he provides so much. Just as one hero. I mean, he obviously.
Yeah, and also it's great through BKB disables, so
Yep.
he's really good against Juggernaut, who is really popular in this current metagame.
Dire's top tower's getting
Really
beat down.
popular against a lot of mobility picks, which are again very big right now. So
he's going for a
He's
battle
just
here. We've got
strong
another engagement
against
here.
huge
Oh,
jumps
Chen just
going
gets
on.
exploded.
The Dire might
I think
wanna
Chen
mine
heard you
the
talking
top
smack about him.
tower.
He's a little pissed. Gets vengeance there. Takes out his opposing support player. Jug actually is
No
opting
breaking
for
through
Battle
the
Fury.
Dire's structures
He's
for
about
now. Dire's mid tower's having
800 away.
technical
Not even.
difficulties.
So that'll be
it
online
makes
very
sense
shortly.
given
So
how well he's with CSN.
Dire's mid
they
tower
realize this
needs
game
a
won't be
little help.
going too late, but at the same time he wants to be able to have that kind of farm online, so he wants to have that mechanism for doing so.
I would expect this game to pick up pace fairly quickly.
Radiant's top
The Chen
tower's
needs to
in
know
bad
that he's
shape.
going to start scaling out.
The
So
Dire best
watch
do
for
something about
watch for
the bottom
timings around the
tower.
Chen's mech,
Can't do nothing about
because the
Dire's
Invoker's not
structures
really
right now.
waiting on items right now. He's not
Dire's
really waiting
bottom
on
tower's getting
a
Dire's
level
just save that bottom
cap right
tower.
now. The Slaughter has the blink up, so and Morphling looks like he's going to be going for the Lincolns first. So
Yep.
expect to see a lot more fighting come the 20-minute mark, if not sooner.
Lincoln's is okay. It blocks a couple things, but I
Soldier's fortune.
don't know. I think it's just more for the stats really than anything.
Yeah, it's a very safe item on him. And actually, this game, it's better that it blocks fewer things, because it means you're blocking the important stuff like Nightmare, like Grip, like Cold Snap.
Those guys
But they
are on the
definitely do
same
have
team.
amplified damage.
They're all on the same team, dude.
Yeah, they definitely. Oh, sorry, my bad. It's blocking the important things. like Vengeful Spirit, who is basically the only thing other than Queen of Pain's Shadow Strike. So
Alright.
it's going to be a lot more difficult to
Here
pop
we
that
have a
Lincoln's.
huge
It's
smoke
going to
here.
be, it's
Ghostz
going
is
to be
smoking. They're
more
going down
impactful.
the off lane here, and they're gonna run into each other. We're gonna have a huge engagement here. Quapal pop right away. Chen
Oh,
pops the
man.
Hand of God, is able to keep everyone alive. A huge Echo Slam. Chen's gonna go down regardless. And Benj actually goes down as well. This is despite splitting off into two places, actually reconvening on the Quap. She was able to blink out. And TA is really in a tough place here. And they're actually gonna take out the Earthshaker. Quap actually might be okay here. She's got blink up in 2. Omni Slash goes out, and there's just too many creeps. Can't do anything. So 3 for 1. The Chen goes down almost immediately, but he gets off everything he needs to. It will delay his mech, unfortunately. That will delay his mech quite a bit, but definitely worthwhile.
I think he'll take that trade. That was one of the most clutch Hand of Gods that I've seen in quite some time. Totally turned that fight around.
Guy had about
negated the Queen of Pain's ult.
Yeah, he had about a second and a half in between him getting bombarded with spells, and he was able to get it off just in time. Man, I was just looking at the jug. I'm really wondering if the Battle Fury was the way to go here. I mean, it's essentially
I'm not a fan of it in general.
Not this game. Okay, and Morphling's actually being run down here. If they have another Fisher here, he might be SOL. Queen of Pain's actually gonna do it.
He has morph. I don't know why he's not morphing.
Oh!
Okay, he had a bunch of agility. He could have strength morphed. I'm wondering if this is a lack of familiarity with the character.
You really would. You would think that they wouldn't pick it though, honestly. At least.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe he just had a brain fart.
Well,
I know something about those.
I'm about to say we both had a few. I suggested an Octane Core to Tinker for God's sake. We're all entitled to mistakes. We're all entitled to mistakes. Sometimes you think Slardar's on neither team and he's playing against his own team. Shit happens, right? We all make mistakes. So.
Well, we'll see if he makes better use of that defensive strength morph in the future. Or not, but the Lincoln Sphere is almost done with Morphling, and that will be a big item.
That's like the biggest part of the hero, especially in the early game. I mean, that's, you know, you have people chasing you around, committing heroes, and if they're unable to kill you, it's just, you know, making space, quit wasting time. So.
I didn't quite see that used to the full effectiveness there, but he did trade kill for a death, so not a complete loss.
Mech is
in
done on
Morphling's
Chen.
book, and he is moving.
We are in
there
business,
we go.
Folks. Not as early as you'd like, not as early as normal, but considering the way the game's gone for him, I think that's pretty decent timing. And 20 minutes isn't too shabby, but they definitely want to take advantage of this mech as soon as possible here. Templar
yeah,
actually.
I think that we will start seeing the game get a lot more aggressive very quickly,
Templar
and the Juggernaut will be wishing for
anything else,
another item as fast as possible.
Anything other than a Battle Fury.
Well, and the Battle Fury is going to be good because it'll help clear the Chen creeps. But he's going to want to have that second item up by the time the push really gets going. So it'll be a race against the clock in that regard.
TA opted to skip the blink, skip the Deso rush, and she actually went for casual Yasha, looking to go for the Deso now. So
yeah, it could be Deso. Could actually be BKB as well. So we'll see which way she goes on that.
Typically get the Ogre Club first.
Could be either way.
Definitely good. All right, Invoker with double D here. He's got it. He's got Orchid too. Oh, Slardar even comes in to make sure he goes down, and that is a very dead Juggernaut. Yeah, you're not.
That's a big kill.
It doesn't matter what item you have.
Yeah, second time he's gone down. He was farming really strong, so second time he goes down, that's a big loss of CS, a big loss of farming time, and that definitely keeps him closer. If you look at the net worth, he and Morphling are basically neck and neck at this point, so those two deaths really make the difference.
Queen of Pain actually has a point boost. This might be casual, but it's more likely an Eggs rush at this point in the game. And they're all in for this Roshan. Invoker's keeping ever so vigilant, but they see him. They have sentries right there. They know he's there.
Everyone knows.
They're not going on him, and they're just gonna let this Rosh go, I guess. Oh my gosh! Oh, she went in for the Aegis steal. Just a couple shades of a second too late there. Yikes. So 2 cores down. Juggernaut will be reviving soon, but I think they're ready to push now. They have Hand of God.
Yeah, that Aegis is...
Yeah, Morphling won't be dying anytime soon here.
Morphling's going to be a tough nut to crack. He's got the Lincolns up. He's got the Aegis up. He's going to be very hard to bring down twice.
Yeah. But I don't think they should fight this. I think they should let it go. They're gonna get the grip really early on the Juggernaut. Huge Echo Slam. He's got Blink Dagger. When did he get a Blink Dagger? And Invoker's just gonna get destroyed. They got 3 already. Earthshaker's the only one to go down. And they're gonna try to split him up. I don't think they should be chasing after the Aegis Carrier. They're gonna go for the Bane instead. He's gonna do it. No way you're getting that CP out, boss. Sorry, man. Well, we're wrong yet again. Wow, I did not know
That
Earthshaker had
Echo
Blink
Slam.
Dagger. Yeah, I had no idea he had Blink Dagger. That's fantastic. And there's your Strength Morph, by the way. TA chases him across the entire map. That is huge.
I still can't get over that Echo Slam. That was such a big Echo Slam. That single button turned the entire team fight.
Well, and that's something that we picked up as soon as the Chen was picked. They went for the Earthshaker right away. And, I mean, that was a huge slam. That was a huge, literally turned the entire battle. Invoker just got disintegrated. And there's a Desolator on the TA, so
Radiant's bottom tower
they're definitely going to take advantage of this now. And Juggernaut back on top of the net worth. Their support's
Not
really
finish off
poor,
that.
though.
Okay, now they finish off that tower.
Well, we were right in one thing. The Morphling he was not going down. He was not an easy nut to crack. Unfortunately, the rest of the team, not quite the same situation. They just get eviscerated, destroyed. And Deso completely
that's hard
out to the
because
TA.
so you're looking at this team, and at this point in the game, the starter didn't have a great lane phase. So you look at the Morphling as sort of being the frontliner for the next couple minutes, and certainly while he has that Aegis, that's his job. But it's really hard to do that when the enemy team gets to blink over your frontliner and totally wreak havoc in your backline. So great play by Earthshaker there.
I was very certain that this didn't happen, but I had to check. The Chen didn't get Hand of God off. The Echo Slam, the Earthshaker combo was so devastating that not only was the Invoker down to like a 4th HP after like 1 second, but the Chen didn't get anything off. That is huge.
Yeah, that's
they're
a
not getting
huge
Hand
deal.
of God off. They're
And
not winning team fights. Simple as that.
Yeah, or Mechanism.
Yeah, he'd
you
used
look
it
at
earlier. I think it was still
the
on
damage available.
It was still on cooldown from.
You look at the damage available from the Earthshaker and from the Queen of Pain, being able to blink over the team and burst down essentially any target. And that Chen's going to have a really tough time getting kills off.
How are you?
Uh-oh.
He's going to have backup though. The Queen of Pain's going to blink in, and Invoker just decides maybe not the best time to go. Definitely flexing a little bit, making sure that they know he's still around. And
showing off that set.
I don't think there's any detection. There's no detection actually for him, so interesting.
Alright, so this next item out of Morphling, we'll see which way he goes. Oh, it looks like it's going to be the Manta.
Ooh, that's a huge creep. They got the Alpha Wolf.
So no shotgun.
He is going shotgun?
No shotgun.
Oh,
He's
no
going Manta.
Okay, Yasha, yeah. I mean, do you really want to go for Manta and get more illusions to make the Echo Slam even stronger? Like, is that what you're going for?
By the same token, do you want to go at F-Blade, make yourself even more vulnerable to the Queen of Pain and the Earthshaker? It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
Dire's top towers
True.
beat
I might have.
I mean, other than that, maybe we could have seen a Scotty next, which
Yeah,
is
I
kind of
think
weird
Scotty
for Morphling that early, but would have been a good item this game.
Scott, he has to get Scotty, I think, regardless. But I mean, you gotta get some sort of stat items, or some sort of damage items. So I guess the Yasha and the Manta, I guess, is one way of going about it, while simultaneously adding stats to the equation as well. Jocko's blink. Yeah, he's got level 3 Omnion, so he wants to make sure that he gets in prime position here. What does Invoker go next?
Well, so far the Battle Fury is paying off. He's atop the net worth once again, despite constantly dipping slightly below the Morphling when he dies, but doing a great job here of keeping his CS up. Already up to 221 by 26 minutes.
Okay, did I just hear a smoke? No. Hearing things. Queen of Pain very close to finishing that Egg Scepter. Very close. Bane. Oh no!
Oh man! Oh!
Just in range here, and a huge swap, and he's done. I was a little cheeky play there with the Nightmare into the TP. Pretty heads up, but not quite enough.
Just not enough. Fissure range. Pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, decent skill. Decent skill. And we're just not feeling the impact of this Chen like we're used to. I mean, normally
No, they've been doing it. Like, again, he lost the creeps how many times in the early game? He
minimum
completely
two.
lost
He
them twice, and
all
there was
three.
part
He
of them
lost the
another
entire
time.
army. I know he's lost a couple from time to time, but yeah,
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
it's not the style of play we're used to seeing. But then, like you said, you picked the Chen that early. Yeah, he went through the first phase of bans, and you got him. You got your guy, but now they can plan the whole draft around him and adjusting to that. So, which I think they've done almost flawlessly.
Yeah, and at a certain point, the Chen will start to scale off, even if he gets the ancient creeps.
Yeah, and it's not that
he
far
will
away,
start to
honestly,
fall
because he's
behind.
quite a ways away from that scepter upgrade. If so, I mean, he might almost be fallen off by the time he gets the scepter. Unfortunately, here. We'll find out. We like to speculate, but we're mostly wrong. So I'm gonna quit talking smack about it. I know better.
Well, that's what makes it exciting.
Right?
I'm kind of surprised because I was expecting a little bit more urgency out of Morbid's lineup, but they appear to be content to take this game late again and rely on the Morphling.
Yeah, he's out. Yeah, I don't know that I would agree with that though. I feel like Ghostz definitely has a very viable late game.
Yeah, looking at the lineups, I would rather have Ghost's team in a 50 to 60 minute game. The TA is going to scale, the Juggernaut's going to scale, the Earthshaker is going to scale, and you're basically fighting up against Invoker and Morphling.
Yeah, Slaughter's definitely gone for more of the utility building for the Vlads, which we just saw a stat for. I mean, I love the item on him. I like going utility Slaughter, but I think they need more damage at this point. There we go. Juggernaut pops his ult. There's a ton of Chen creeps around. They're still gonna blow him up, and there goes the army again. Yikes.
Yeah, that's one of the strengths of the Battle Fury.
Yeah, they expend the Omni Slash, but they take out Chen and everything he has to offer, and they know that Moribund and Bane's gonna go down as well. They know Moribund can't take a fight without Chen.
Radiant's mid tower.
Yeah, no mech, no Hand of God. Yeah, they can't fight that. Invoker's trying to split push.
I've been really impressed with how well Ghostz is targeting the mech carriers on Morbid. Last time we saw a lot of Dooms focused on the Viper, who's typically not a Doom target, but they were doing it to deny the mech's healing. And this game we're seeing the same thing, this kind of focus on the Chen to take away that sort of team healing that Morbid's going for. So really trying to shave off the additional hit points and relying on a lot of their base burst to get through only one set of Morbid's lineup.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think they want to take this much later, but at this point they're not really ready to fight. I mean, Morphling is still underwhelming at best. I mean,
he really needs to finish his next item before they even consider fighting.
I mean,
he would really like to get 2 items before that.
I don't know. Like, I want to suggest a BKB, but I feel like that's kind of like a game-losing item here. If you're Moribund, like, you want to have the protection and the free reign in the team fights, but at the same time, like, you're lacking so much damage. You know, the way you were winning fights was by you had better positioning and you had the sustain from the Chen. And you're getting pickoffs with the Slaughter and Invoker scouting out, you know, and now they're not getting that, and now they're kind of on the outside looking in, as far as the
and
goes.
When you're in that position, you got to look at some items that can make plays, essentially. Yep. We're probably going to see the Invoker pick up his Augs with this 4K, yep. But he's already got the Orchid, so that's a big play-making item.
They're going to go for it.
I don't think they can contest it, though. When you look at the Chen, he has 2 creeps. We don't have a BKB up on the Starter, we don't have BKB up on the Invoker, so it's going to be difficult to fight into this roster.
All the big ultimates are done, and actually, I don't think we mentioned this. I know that she was building the Scepter, but the Scepter's finished on the Queen of Pain now, so only level 12, so it's only a rank 2 ultimate, but still, it's just gonna be able to spam that pretty much at will here. See Slardar. He's not gonna be finishing that.
He's actually way low
yeah,
on the XP.
Oh, great reaction time. Loses the Ancients but saves his life, and Chen's like, I gotta get out of here, buddy. I'm out.
Like, she's the same level as Vengeful Spirit and Chen. She's on EXP level with supports. That's something to watch out for. That's definitely a vulnerability that could be exploited by Morbid as the game goes on.
The TA? Wait,
The Queen of Pain's level. She's
yeah.
only level 12.
Yeah, that's...
Now 13, but that's the same level as supports.
Not ideal, but honestly, really all they need is her to get 2 spells off. Get the ult off and get the scream. And then, yeah. I mean, if she can help running down the hero, that's great, but honestly, that's pretty much all she really needs to bring to the table at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I know we talked a lot about the Juggernaut and the Battle Fury, but it synergizes well with their roster because they're bringing 3 really big AoE ults with that Battle Fury pickup.
Not only that, but look how fast they clean up the waves. Their wave clear is just insane right now, and honestly, I felt they could take that. I think they're missing some vision on the map, so they're not quite sure about how they can go about it. But I mean, you have the Aegis. I mean, now's the time. Carpe diem. And now they kind of putzed around. They waited, and now the enemy's in position here. We'll see. The Slardar. Oh my gosh! No, you have haste. You're taking so much damage. Popper missed the ult, but it's not even needed. And Jug's going in. He's gonna pop the Omni Slash on the Chen. Chen goes down. Doesn't get Hand of God off. Doesn't get Mech off. He gets blown up. His army just obliterated. And
meanwhile, Bane mid.
Yeah, this is looking like the beginning of the end. Bane uphill miss. Oh, commit the grip with the
tower.
What
a grip!
He's dead.
That's a kill.
Yeah, well that's the Aegis.
Oh, Aegis.
That's just the Aegis. And they're gonna.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, kind of a good thing to have. And that's kind of why they had it too, because they noticed she was gonna be playing very aggressively, and they're still gonna get a Rax out of this. Chen's gonna buy back. I mean, he has everything, but I mean, it's Invoker's got to get in there. His teammates have got to make a move here.
Yeah, the Slardar's down, so missing initiation.
Swap the Chen. Chen's in a very vulnerable spot. He's stunned. Gets the mech off. Hand of God. Oh, doesn't get it off. Echo Slam used. They want to end this now. No more dilly dallying.
I think they're going to end this now.
Buyback on the Invoker, but it's already, you already lost buildings, friend. Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Invoker on the tail end here. They're still trying to get something. He wants to make his buyback at least semi-worthwhile, and they should be able to pick up that kill. Yeah, there you go. Orchid burns enough to take him down.
So one cool thing we're seeing out of Ghostz here.
This double D on the Slardar. Oh, he knows better. He knows better. You're knocking out DPSer, son. Bane's here. He doesn't have grip down for 15 still.
Oh, that's a dead TA.
Yeah. They got the whole team rotating, and they're very mobile though. The entire team's very mobile.
Yes.
The only one lacking mobility really is the Bane. Everyone else is fairly quick, and Manta.
For both teams, actually.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty common, but it's something definitely not to be overlooked either. And they want to take advantage of this.
Especially on Juggernaut.
They're forced. They want to make some moves here. They at least so they force the buyback. I don't know if they really want to commit to this. Chen's here with the Hand of God, even though he's not around. Omni Slash taking a lot of creeps. Actually gets quite a few hits on the Invoker too, but they have no detection. Hand of God. Morphling's in a very difficult spot. Oh my gosh, the crits! He's out. He's done. And they gotta run for their lives here. A huge Fissure. I'm gonna blink up for a while. It'll be okay. It's just the Earthshaker chasing him. Meanwhile, in Chen land here. Yeah, he's dead. Sorry, boss. He's got mech available, but not even gonna waste it. And he already used the buyback actually, so he's dead for good.
Yeah, he'll be down for a while.
That's a second lane.
One thing to note is that, as you said, you saw Ghostz trying to end the game early. And if you look at the items, and specifically the order in which they bought the edge, we have a Morphling buyback here, so we will have contention, but they went for kind of late blink daggers, and they bought those blinks as initiate. Oh, I'll let you finish
out on
this
Juggernaut. They're gonna try to break him down quickly. Oh, it's just not enough damage. He Manta's out of it, and he's out. They have a nice stun, but the Queen of Pain there with a huge ultimate. Juggernaut actually does go down, but his illusion's doing quite a bit of damage here. Morphling's coming in. He's got to make his buyback worthwhile. If he dies here, it's game over. He actually gets both kills, and the Queen of Pain has no mana to speak of. He's really fast. He's gonna be able to catch up. Boom, triple kill. Huge buyback. huge buyback. They're so, yeah, the buyback. He's got Enfeeble, but he's doing so much damage. He's going for the racks. A little bit greedy, actually. He's gonna have to get out of there.
He's trying to stall for the Omni slash cooldown.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Blink Dagger comes up just in time.
Yeah. Just
Speaking
more
of
damage,
Blink
trying to buy.
Daggers,
Well, also trying to buy time for his team to resurrect as well, because you don't want to spend a buyback. If you have this kind of firm lead in the game, you really don't want to spend a buyback when you could be working on another set of items. So.
Yeah, so one thing to note is that when they were ahead, they started buying Blink Daggers, right? You said the TA went after the casual Yasha, and then the Deso, and then the Blink. That's not as common a build order. And the Juggernaut ended up buying the Battle Fury, then the Manta, then the Blink as well. And the reason they picked up these Blinks is so they had easy access to a team that was behind them so far that they could commit 2,000 gold just to getting in. So those Blink Daggers were definitely a decision to push the pace, definitely a decision to get really aggressive on the map and start to try and end the game as fast as possible.
Well.
Didn't pay off clearly because they just got
absolutely
crushed in that teamfight mid. And that's the kind of opening that you need. When you're down in racks, you need to start winning those teamfights, start building a little bit of a gold lead so you can get a little bit more control of the map. And that last teamfight could be the first step for Morbid Gaming in getting back into this game.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a pretty steep hill though, and I cannot talk enough about how Ghostz has done so well just mitigating the type of play that we've seen from the Chen. They know it was going to be huge, it's really going to impact their game, but they've just done so much to kind of counter out the damage that he can provide early on. I mean, he's really, I'm not going to say a non-factor, but significantly less than what we've seen in games past. So, I mean, 3, 8, and 4.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Still, he still has 2 parts of Scepter to buy, and it's almost 40 minutes into the game. Like, he's falling off as a second stick buy at this point. And
well,
okay, so
the Chen might be falling off. Morphling is going to be, if this game were to go to 60 minutes, Morphling will be the strongest character in the game by a good margin. Mm-hmm. He scales harder than TA, he scales harder than Juggernaut, so if the game does go ultra late, there is the possibility of Morbid making a pretty steep comeback, and especially if Ghostz get careless about trying to end the game quickly, like we saw in that last team fight. Morphling could get the chance to come back and be an absolute monster, but they're already down racks, so it's going to be very difficult, especially using the courier to creeps.
They're trying to tell their teammates, hey, someone's got to go back and defend. Our T4s are getting destroyed here. Someone's got to go back here, kids. And they got to smoke, and they're going to try to... They got the Invoker doing the scout work, but he's all by himself. He's going to get blown up before they even get there. Hand of God. Dust is popping. He's pretty much dead here. He's able actually to hide in the trees.
Oh, the juke into the tree line.
Yep, and they're gonna blow up the Queen of Pain here. Oh my gosh, just wait till the Scotty's done this Morphling. Oh, massive Echo Slam on 3! Entire creep army of Chen's gone. Earthshaker's still alive actually. Oh my gosh, Echo Slam changing another huge fight. Triple kill for the TA. And his team's back too. Wow, that is...
that was so well managed. That was just a beautiful thing to behold.
And they called GG.
Like, that last team fight was really a thing of beauty. They went in on the Invoker, didn't get the Invoker. Half the team backed out, they found a way back in on the Echo Slam, and they just kept bringing the characters in and bringing them out, rotating them in for heals, or rotating them out for heals, and then bringing them back in when they could fight again. It was really well managed.
My gosh. Well, I hope we hyped it up, and I definitely feel like we got our money's worth here. That was a fantastic series. I wasn't expecting it to go so far in one side, but wow, great couple matches. I don't have any words. Those Echo Slam, good skill. That's all I've got.
Man, like both of these games, I know they both went to Ghostz, and looking at a game or a series that goes 2-0, you might think, it was a stomp, but it really wasn't. The game was very back and forth. Both games were very close and decided by a couple key decisions in terms of team fights, in terms of tower pushing ability, and in terms of itemization. So the game really went down to all of the corners. It was a very, very clutch game by both teams. A lot of really good plays out of both sides, and I really get to hope we get to see these guys play again, maybe in the bracket play, because they were a phenomenal matchup, and I think that both of those games could easily have tipped in either direction.
Well, we'll definitely see him in the playoffs. I am very certain that both of these teams will definitely be looking to make a nice run in the playoffs. So fantastic series.